So I think everything's good right now. Hello everyone. This is the HKUST Business School student sharing section. Thank you for tuning in. And four of us are the business student ambassadors of the business school. So perhaps we can all introduce ourselves first. So I'm Sharon. Sharon is currently a final year student from HKUST, major in global business and marketing. So I took DSC to enter UST.
Okay, hi everyone.
So,
My name is Harrison and I came from Taiwan, currently study as a year 2 student in the quantitative finance major. And I got into HKUST through my national examination back in Taiwan, which is GSAT.
So hi everyone, I'm Antoine, I'm French, and I'm a final year student too, doing information systems and mark. And it has been around 5 years I'm in Hong Kong, and I joined UST through our own national examination, which is the French baccalaureate.
Well, hi all, I'm Gracia Sherin. So currently I'm in my 3rd year university life as well. My major is also information system and marketing, and I go through HKUST through Indonesian national exam.
All right, so this section basically is to share with all of you about our experiences in HKUST. So when we think about, life of a university student, maybe we'll first think of the 5 things of university, people call it, which is study, hall, society, part-time, and dating. So maybe we can talk about some of these aspects. So I know one thing that's really, interesting and really represents you as, a university student, as you living in hall, because you can, be independent and have your own space, etc. So I know, Gracia, you have a lot of experiences when it comes to hall life. Do you want to share a bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So as an international student who doesn't have anyone in Hong Kong, so basically I'm alone, whole life takes a big role in my university life. So it's not just a place for me to sleep and rest at night, but it's also a place that I proudly call as home. So I live in Hall 8 for 2 years. This is the pictures of it. And in my 3rd year, I live in Jockey Club Hall. So if you go to the next slides, this is the view that I got every day from my room. The pictures on the left and the right was the one that I got from my common room, and the pictures in the middle was my room. My roommate back then was a local students called Cola as well. So I be able to get different kind of roommate that some of them become a really good friends of me right now as well. So every time I'm really stressful that I need something to refresh my mind, I will just go to the common room and see the view, and then I'll feel good as well. But then after that, I was also so lucky because my hall arranges different kind of activities. This is the pictures when I got my 1st year experience orientations that I'll be able to join and meet a lot of new people, not just international, but also local. I'll be able to have hot pot with them, even a mooncake workshops, and some of them even become a really close friend of mine right now. My whole life has been really wonderful, and I always wanted to contribute back. That's how I decided to become one of the Hall Language Buddy program. So I was one out of 10, which the other students as well. We have different diverse background with different kind of nationalities, and we always willingly to narrow the gap between international and local, and we support different kind of cultural exchange, and we basically mix different kind of events. And the university also recognized our effort, and because of that, they even gave us the scholarship out of it. So it has been a really good experience, not just for me, but basically for everyone who has been living at home. Yeah.
Maybe I can add a bit on that. So if you're able to serve as the residential life team like Gracia, then it's definitely gonna be a very priceless and great experiences. But what if you have other things to spend time on, and maybe you have other plans to devote to? And that's totally fine, because As a resident, you will be served with various different activities and events throughout the entire year, because there will be very thoughtful hall masters, which are professors, but also hall tutors to organize various events for you. So I just want to highlight some of the events that I have participated throughout my first year in Hall 1. So speaking of Hall 1, if I've ever stayed there, you'll notice that the key feature is really the food. But I mean, who doesn't like food, right? When I first came to HKUST in the very first week, only 1 week, we had the welcome dinner at a very decent restaurant on campus that serves very authentic Hong Kong dishes, and plus a welcome barbecue. So that international students like me can really able to have the opportunity to interact with others, which include both the also international students, but also the local students as well. So for us to more easily adapt and get familiar with the environment. Then we have, in the middle part, we have the cultural sharing session on a weekly basis. And it's not just about eating, right? These people will also share their country's culture first, and then we eat. So usually they will bring some authentic snacks, and sometimes they'll cook. So you can see from this picture, it is a girl from the Europe, and he is trying Korean rice cake. So it's very valuable experiences to really make what we call cultural exchange, and really the value that we promote here in HKUST. We also have annual field trip to travel together, and on Mid-Autumn Festival, so it's a Chinese holiday, there will also be free mooncake. And again, mooncake is a very important feature in the Chinese culture, and if you're a student from the Western society, then it would be very, very good chances for you to try. So overall, combining me, Gracia, and my experiences, Hall is a very good place to build friendship, right? But definitely not the only one. So I think Anthony would have a lot to share.
Yeah, sure. As you can imagine, as an international student, when you arrive to UST, it can be quite intimidating, especially when you want to interact with local. So that's why in my first year, I decided to join this leadership program called Redbird. And what I got there was not just simply like an amazing learning experience, but also about building friendship with a lot of people, with a lot of local people at UST. So to give you a brief idea of what is a society/program is about. So Weber it's a leadership program centered on giving back to the community. So you just don't want just to learn for yourself, but also want to give back to the community of USC and also Hong Kong in general. So that's why it's a program that lasts around 1 to 3 years, and you have different steps with different where you have to achieve certain points at each. And so what you do in here is we organize different activities, such as English classes for underprivileged neighborhood in Hong Kong. We went in during winter break, doing a 3 days camping session where we did a bunch of challenges and others. And also we had to run our own our own project where we had to organize different set of activities, and that was centered on whether giving back to UST or giving back to Hong Kong in general. So it was a really great experience, and I learned a lot, whether from the local culture, and it was a very diverse society. There was people from all over Asia, and also and even a couple of people from Europe. I was not the only European there was an Italian guy. So you can tell that it's very diverse. And overall, it was a very great experience. And if you join UST, I really encourage you to join this program. It's definitely worth it.
I totally agree with you that, being part of the society not only allow you to have more exposure to different, cultures and backgrounds, but it also trains up your leadership skills. So one thing that really special, I think, to HKUST is about the one HKUST spirit, which means that, no matter your background, your gender, your ethnicity, etc., it's all one. So that's like the spirit that we all carry. So one event that truly demonstrates the spirit that I participated in was the Guinness World Record breaking event in HKUST. So I think it was last year when I organized the event. I was the organizing committee of the event. So we broke the world record of most contribution to a handprint painting in 1 hour. So what's interesting about this event is that the whole school, so not only students, but also staff and professors and even alumni, they all gathered together to help with this initiative. And all the handprints, they'll receive donation from like different organizations to go to a funding. So with this project, so not only is it like a unifying event, but it also can help with students in need as well. So that's like a very interesting experience for me. So as an organizing committee, I really had the opportunity to work with different people, staff, or even like students or even alumni. So that was really an exciting experience as well.
Okay, so as we know, university is not just about learning. The end goal as the end is to get a job. And UST, to tell you, has really a lot of resources and has a great recognition for you to get that experience that you need. So during your study, you will receive a lot of support from the university to get some real life exposure. So for example, through a summer internship. So this one was the summer internship I did last summer at Estée Lauder. As you can see on the left pictures, there was quite a lot of interns because we were around 20 summer interns in different departments, a lot of people from UST. And so to tell you that it really shows that UST has a great recognition name and that it can qualify you to a lot of prestigious company. Estée Lauder is an extremely famous company for cosmetics, but not just for that. You also have you also have access to a lot of banking, consultant, any kind of industry you will think of. And every year we organize 2 career fair with over 100 employers each time. So you can, and plus frequently some recruitment events on ad hoc basis. So you really have the occasions to go talk to the employers in order to get this internship, but then can convert into a full-time job offer. A lot of students actually are able to already get a job offer before they graduate from UST, such as for the people that some people I knew at Estée Lauder last summer got a job offer for their graduation already. So it really shows that UST is a very great place where you can learn a lot, but also get your angles and learn more and get your job.
So unlike Antoine, I also be able to experience different kind of internships. And what I did was I joined an internship in CFA Institute as a Society Advocacy Engagement Summer Intern. So it's a non-profit organization that goes surround the financial industry. This is the pictures that I got in our first day with the other 5 other interns. So we unexpectedly come from different background and even different universities. So not just like doing daily stuff and work, we also be able to even join feeding Hong Kong community. So it's a community where you can give back and also give free foods to them. And not just doing both of them, but I also be able to practice different kind of skills that I have. One of them was public speaking. I got the chance to be able to present my intern project in front of the managers, the head, even the managing director of Asia Pacific. And not just that, I'll be able to meet different kind of amazing people and really inspiring people. And one of them was Paul Smith, which is the president of CFA Institute. He was based in US and then he flew back to Hong Kong to support us in our hard time back then. So if we go to the next slide, all of the interns also encouraged to get the financial investment foundation exam. So it's a basic fundamental theory about the investment industry, and all of us got the certificate out of it, and we took the exam as well. And this is the pictures of the last day of our interns where we had our farewell gathering. I was really sad back then because I didn't even thought that I'll be able to develop a really thoughtful relationship with them as well. So this is the picture when I had with my boss Alan, when he gave me his final speech and also a little gift for myself to keep. So I believe that this opportunity I got from HKUST, and I'll be able to apply it from the online job board, that I wouldn't be able to get it anywhere else. So this is not just the experience that I'll be able to learn from it, but it's also a valuable experience that I can also share with the others as well. And I'm sure that every student in HKUST has the same opportunity to also experience the same and be able to choose which kind of path that you want to achieve in your future endeavors as well.
Right. I think internship is really a great opportunity for students to not only get exposed to the industry operations, but also develop networks. So for my example, I'm probably the youngest in the all four speakers, but as a year 2 student, I still managed to get an internship already, thanks to the very supportive HKUST Career Center and the job board. And besides internship, there's various other ways to broaden your network and your insights. And so I want to talk about an important activities for a business student. So it's something that you cannot escape from. That is the case competition. And by the way, so for case competition, by its definition, it is that different schools will have different teams gathered together, and usually there will be companies. They're real industry players, usually big companies and big banks. They'll give out real business cases, and those are the problems and obstacles that they really face during their daily operation. But they want to see how students solve it, because students would have very unique perspective other than the industry professionals. So all the teams would compete together. They would brainstorm the solutions and propose and present it to a panel of judges. So it is a very insightful event. And here in HKUST, we not only participate in case competition, we win case competitions, right? We have a very, very strong case analysis team on campus as well. And I think Sharon would share much later on. And now I want to say is in HKUST, you can not only participate in a case competition, but you can also arrange one yourself. So we have this annual feature of the business school, that is the HKICC, or the HKUST International Case Competition. As we are also one of the many prestigious universities around the globe, we're honored to be able to invite 15 other outstanding schools to participate in our competition. And by outstanding schools, I'm talking about the Ivy League schools, the top 30 ranking targeted schools. So as a student organizer, it is very important to, and a great chances for me to learn how to organize an event, how to coordinate between different partners and departments, and how to build teamwork, how to build leadership. But I think more importantly, it is to give me an exposure to really talk to these participating and competing teams in person and get to know them, because it is very amazing because we're in the very same age, right? But the culture and values are very different. So by talking to them, it is very kind of a cultural exchange. And it's not just that I learn from them, but I think it's a mutual learning, because we also brought them to different sites, famous sites in Hong Kong, like the Victoria, the Peak, the Victoria Harbor, or even to take some authentic dishes in Hong Kong. So I think it's a very great experiences. And there are actually a lot other campus activities. This HKICC is just one of them that often recruits student organizers or helpers. There are residential-wise, there are cultural exchange-wise opportunities, and I do really encourage if any of you come into HKUST, do take the opportunity to learn.
Right. So echoing to Harson's point, we not only organize case competitions, but we also send representatives to join case competitions. So me being Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Sorry, there was an internet problem. So yes, I was saying, echoing to Harson's point, we not only organize case competitions, but we also send our representatives to join case competitions. So I'm part of the school's case analysis team, and the school provided us with lots of resources to join case competitions. So when I was in year 2, I joined the Havana International Case Competition organized by University of Florida. So what basically the school does is they train you, and then they pay you to fly over to Florida to join the case competitions. So we have a 5-hour case comp and then a 30-hour one. It was a really intense brain workout session, but we learned a lot throughout the experience. I also got to know about the industry, which was like military consulting, which I never knew about. But the competition helped me a lot with like basically gaining knowledge about a brand new industry within a really short period of time. And what's also interesting about the case competition is not only about, you know, learning more about business, but it also provides you with, you know, culture experiences. Like we went to Disney in Florida, the school pays you to do that, so that was really fun. And then we also went gun shooting and whatnot, and we got to know students from all around the world, as Hassan said, the prestigious universities. So that was really, really fun. And yeah, the school provides you lots of experiences to do stuff like that. And also, HKUST really, you know, focuses on, you know, the global exposure. So other than case competition, earlier this month, I went on exchange. If we go to the next slide, we'll see some snapshots about my exchange experiences. So I went to the Netherlands, Maastricht University, for my exchange. So it was a really, you know, different learning environment where if you see the classroom on the right side, that's how big the classroom is. So in comparison to like a lecture theater in Hong Kong, it's really different. And so it's a lot more interactive approach. So that was a new, you know, learning approach that I could learn from. But most importantly, I think for going on exchange is the eye-opening experiences. So if we go to the next slide, you'll see lots of like nice pictures of me and the new friends I've met and the countries I've been. So next slide. I went to 18 countries during my exchange, and throughout all, you know, visiting different countries, you do see a lot of like different cultures, although they're like really close by together. And my favorite part is I think it's about like meeting new friends. So as you can see on the left, these are my flatmates. So we got American, Finnish, Swedish, and Brazilian. So that was really fun. And then we did culture nights about, you know, different cuisines. And for example, the Swedish girl, she cooked us meatballs and was like 100 times better than IKEA. And so you can see on the collage here, I went to lots of places, saw a lot of like pretty landmarks. So yeah, that was really fun experiences. And if you're HKUST, like not only me, everyone have these amazing opportunities to go abroad. And I think Antoine, you will share a bit more about
Yeah, sure. So, so as you can see, so we have a whole team of business student ambassador, and if you have any question, everybody, you have a QR code and the IG, and you can contact us in any way at any time, and we will be more than happy to respond to your question. We are very diverse, more than 400 of them, so you will definitely find somebody to respond to your question. So right now, I think we'll move on to our Q&A session. Sharon, right?
Yep. So if you have any questions, just feel free and we'll answer it.
So I think we got our first questions here. about how many halls of residence are there in HKUST. So maybe I can address that one first. So in HKUST, we have 10 residence hall. So there's 9 on campus and 1 off campus, which is in TKO. So if you're an international student, you'll be able to guarantee 2 years of university hall. But then in 3rd and 4th year, you might get in, but it's not guaranteed. So it's an opportunity for you to also blend in with the community. But most of my friends actually got in as well in 3rd and 4th year. But if you're local, no worries as well, because throughout your 1st year, you'll be able to have half semester of experience in hall. So basically, every 1st year students will be able to experience the hall, whether it's on campus or even off campus. And for off-campus dorm, you don't have to worry about the transportation because we do have the shuttle bus as well. It always happens every morning till night, every hour, back and forth from the campus and also to dorms. So it's really convenient for both the students as well and the staff.
All right, so we see another question that is, what is the career support at HKUST? So I think there are a few aspects the school helps us with. First of all, it's the career center. So there's like job board. So different companies will like have their job board posting, so you can always check and apply for the intern/jobs that you're interested in. Another thing is career talks. So they always have like CV workshops, interview workshops, case interview workshops, etc., to prepare you for the interview. And they're also just like staff at the career center. So if you need any increase or you need any consulting, you can always go there in person, and they will be happy to answer your questions.
I see a question related to if I need to know Cantonese or Chinese to study at HKUST. I think, so I can respond to that. I speak very minimum of Mandarin. I don't speak Cantonese, and I'm still able to study HKUST. In UST, all the classes, the language of instruction, everything on campus is in English. Of course, since you have a lot of local students, people can speak in Cantonese, but everybody is able to interact with each other in English, so it's not a problem at all. And there is a lot of supports with different workshops, whether for English, but also for other foreign languages like French, Japanese. So you have a lot of opportunities for that.
Right, and we also like offer Mandarin and Cantonese courses, whether it's like credit bearing or non-credit bearing. So I personally took the Cantonese non-credit bearing courses last semester, and I do appreciate, because the teacher, although it's non-credit bearing, right, but the teacher taught like as hard as it was a credit bearing course, and I really learned a lot, not only from the language but also learn a lot about local culture. So I do encourage that, although it's not a need to survive in HKUST because it's conducted in English, but I do encourage students can try to learn Cantonese in order to know more about Hong Kong people's culture.
All right, I see a question. It says, is HKUST really a place where most of the students are male? Now, first of all, that is, I think, a false rumor, at least in the business school, because fun fact, there is 60% girls in business school and then 40% boys. So it's actually girls more. And but I think like the gender doesn't really matter when it comes to, the learning environment. Like it doesn't really matter on how you study and what you study. So yeah, don't worry about that.
I mean, from the speakers, you can see 2 boys and 2 girls, so it's very equal.
Yeah, very honestly. So I also see questions about, so you mentioned that you're very afraid that business students are really aggressive and they might hate the introverted people. Should I aim at it if I'm an introverted? And I am afraid that I will be looked down by the business student if I am introvert. So honestly, as a business student, yeah, you do have to develop yourself to be able to speak in front of the people as well, because that's the main skill that we need to do. But if you're introverted, it doesn't mean that you're not be able to do that as well. We have different kind of organizations or even opportunity that you to practice as well. And as we have mentioned, also we have various of majors, and each majors has different kind of personality for them to fit in that kind of major as well. For example, okay, let's say that marketing people needs to be able to be really extroverted, but it doesn't mean that finance or accounting people cannot be introverted. So once you enter the university, that you'll be able to experience all the introduction courses the first 3 semesters, then you'll be able to experience which one that suits you the best in terms of your personality, your interests, and everything. And then you'll be able to choose the one that suits you the best, I guess. But you don't have to worry about anything, because I feel like whatever you started with, you'll be able to develop it in USD, and we have the resources to do that as well. So no worries.
I saw a question asking whether the students and teachers in HKUST are friendly. And I think it's very a true statement, because first of all, Hong Kong is a very diversified community. It's in its nature. So there are international residents here in Hong Kong. So Hong Kong people are very friendly to different nationalities and cultural backgrounds. So students and friends are very friendly in HKUST. And as for teachers, like TAs and also professors, they would have their different office hours. So they would often set their office hours and also available for appointments. So if you want to ask him, his or her recommendations or advice on not only academic, but sometimes also career-wise, then you can also feel free to find him or her in their office. And also we do have some research programs that offer to students the opportunities to assist professors with their research framework. And I think that is also a very great opportunity for students to get to know more with our professors. And we also have for the business school exclusive Take Faculty to Lunch program. We also, actually the business school buys you a lunch to eat with one of our faculty members. So I basically ate with each one of the professor every semester, and it is a very great chances to talk to them.
Yeah, so I think there's no strong hierarchy, not like differences or even barriers when it comes to teachers, professors, and students. Like you can even find professors in gyms and the cafes and they'll just do gym with students. So I think they're just really friendly.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I see another question. How does HKUST compare with other universities in Hong Kong / in Asia? So if you know the sort of title of HKUST Business School is called World Class in Asia.
Mm-hmm.
Hence, we're world class, one of the best schools when it comes to especially business schools in Asia. We provide a lot of resources, and our status is definitely being recognized, be it in the rankings or with our alumni. So yeah, we're definitely competitive. That's the comment I can say.
Okay, so there's a questions about scholarship as well. Does HKUST offer any form of scholarship for continuing undergraduate students, or any scholarship at HKUST? So if you're applying as a student from high school to HKUST to get the offer, then you're automatically already considered to become the scholarship awardees. So basically for that, you got the admission scholarships. It differs with different kind of qualifications that you apply in as well. But then if you didn't get in from the admissions, you don't have to worry, because once you enter the uni, there's a various opportunity for you to apply for scholarship as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be academic, that you have a really high GPA, but there's also scholarships for extracurricular activities. For example, if you do a lot of mentorship program or hourly or voluntary program as well, or if you do really well in sports, you bring our university name to international and stuff, then for that you also be able to get a scholarships. And if you do want to go exchange, we also have a scholarship exchange. Basically, like almost everyone will be able to get it, but if you do have a financial problem as well, that you can go to the SFAO office and discuss about that. So it doesn't necessarily that once you didn't get the scholarship in the first place, then you wouldn't be able to get scholarship throughout your uni. That's not true. But as long as you're willing to apply and then you're also eager in the things that you do, then I believe that you can get that as well.
I see one question related to, is it difficult for HKUST graduate to get a job? As I presented earlier, we have a lot of opportunities during our studies to perform, to get this kind of real industry exposure through internship. And on top of it, the good recognition from a school, from employers, allows everyone to relatively easy to get a job. Most people, a lot of people already, as I said, already have offer before even graduating. But even for those who have not, in a very few months, people end up at finding a job, because on top of it, Hong Kong is a very dynamic economy. So there's a lot of job opportunities, and HKUST can really provide you all the supports you need for you to get that job and after you graduate.
To add on to that as well, HKUST just rise in the ranking that we are like 10th place the most employed like university in the world. So we're like top 10 out of like hundreds university in the world. So we'll be able to, I think, not just because of the brand name of HKUST, but people do want students from HKUST because we're really hardworking students as well. So I don't think that that's the thing that you have to worry about to get a job.
Okay, I saw a question asking, I am an international student, can I do a part-time job during my studies? So I think I can share about this because after last summer's internship, my company asked me to stay for the part-time internship for this semester. So I'm doing a part-time, and the rule for international students doing jobs in Hong Kong is separated into summer internship and non-summer internship. So for summer internship, students can feel free to take any internship they want. So as long as it is a paid internship, so you can feel free to take summer internship from June to August. That's 3 months in total every year during your study in HKUST. And then for non-summer internship, which we often refer to as part-time or the winter internship, every international student would have a 12-month quota, aggregated 12 months throughout your 4 or 5 years studying in HKUST. So you can, I think it will be sufficient enough because you're not gonna take internship every month, right? You're still a student. So if you have some very great opportunity that you find in year 3 or year 4, many students go on a semester internship so that it may be more easy to get return offer. And that would be very great opportunity. And you have 12 months to distribute to plan for your career. So it's definitely very friendly for international students as well.
Mm-hmm. I saw a question about what are the catering options on campus, and of course we all care about food, but don't worry, we have more than 15, I think, more than 15 catering outlets in school. So if you want Chinese, Western, if you're vegetarian, we have a vegetarian restaurant. We even have Impossible Burger, and we also have like Korean. We also have our own bar and different like cuisines and cafes and whatnot. So don't worry, you'll find your best choices here in UST.
We have halal food as well, so you don't have to worry. Okay. So there's a question about, can I stay in Hong Kong to look for a job after graduation? So as an international student, once you graduate, you'll be able to get a 1-year visa to look for jobs. So it's a temporary visa for you to stay in Hong Kong, and then for you to search for a job even though you haven't got one yet. And then Hong Kong itself also have a really flexible visa requirement. So if you stayed for the whole 7 years in Hong Kong, then you'll be able to become the PR, permanent residence. And that's most likely what the international students are aiming for. So if you already study 4 years and then you work for 3 years, and then you'll be able to get the PR. So I think it's really nice for us as an international student that we're not in a rush to find a job. But yeah, I think that we do have a sufficient enough of time to search for one, because we got another year to search from the visa itself. Yes, yeah.
Okay, I saw another question asking, will business students in UST discriminate others if they fail to get high grades and having poor home status? Definitely negative. So I want to re-emphasize that business students like us are very friendly and we embrace every kind of backgrounds. I mean, it is true that indeed in HKUST it's a very competitive environment about academics, but academics is never directly related to your achievements. So we can see a lot of different other choices, extracurricular activities. We have a lot of societies, and every student can excel in their different fields. So it really depends on how you decide to distribute your time and efforts. And I think everyone should be well respected. And I think that's the value that we promote in UST. So you don't need to worry. So business students is not as like those kind of people that you think. We're very friendly.
I saw a question, is the university friendly to LGBT? Definitely. We also have a LGBT community, LGBT plus community in HK in UST called Rainbow Badge. So we're very, friendly to everyone, no matter what background. HKUST, as I mentioned.
I can see a question related to the campus location about, is it far away from the campus city center? Well, to be honest, I would be true. It's not directly close to the city center. However, this is quite a positive thing sometimes, because as we know, Hong Kong is a very dense and very dynamic city, but sometimes it feels good to be a bit on the side. And because of that, we can enjoy one of the most beautiful view of whole Hong Kong on the bay, as you can see in the different pictures of the presentation, like in the halls. But don't be worried about that. We have very good transportation. You have a lot of minibus, and we are just a 10 minutes ride to then link back to the MTR network. So you can, in less than 1 hour, you can move anywhere from the campus to any part of Hong Kong. So don't be worried about that.
Okay, I see 1 or 2 questions asking about weather in Hong Kong, so maybe we can address that. So I think it really, how you get used to it really depends on where you came from, but then the temperature, I think the coldest won't be below 10 degrees Celsius, and the hottest won't be above 30. I don't know, will it be above 30? No, 10 to 30, I think. Most of the time is 10 to 30, and because we're located on more like a mountainside and by the sea, so we have a rather colder than urban area and a bit more humid. But then I think it's kind of a comfortable weather, considering like comparing to other places. So I think should be fine. It's not too cold, not too hot. All right. And also another question asking, can I choose my roommates? So I think if I remember this correctly, for the first year, you cannot. So if you come into the first year, the school will allocate your roommate for you. But then from the second year onwards, you can feel free to decide your roommate. So before you apply for a hall, they will ask you to indicate your preference if you have any. So then you can pick your friends and live together.
To add on to that as well, if you want to have an exchange student as your roommate, then you'll be able to do so as well. Because not just wanting to have like a local roommate or even exchange roommate or even like your friends, that you'll be able to set your preferences. But that it's when you enter your second year to your fourth year.
All right, so I think that's all the questions we have, and I guess that's it for our sharing session. So if you have any more questions, our links are on the screen. So you have Facebook, website, or even email, or anything, just feel free to reach out to us. And thank you very much for tuning into this session. We hope you all the best, and stay tuned.
See you.
Bye.
Bye everyone. See you at HKUST.
See you.